The Northrop B-2 Spirit looks less like a normal airplane and more like a shadow given wings. It has no tail, no traditional fuselage, and almost nothing about its outline seems conventional. That strange shape is the point. The B-2 was built to cross vast distances, slip through sophisticated enemy air defenses, and deliver some of the most powerful weapons in the American arsenal. Often called the stealth bomber, it is one of the most recognizable military aircraft ever made, but also one of the rarest. Only a small number were built, each at extraordinary cost. To understand why the B-2 exists, you have to look beyond its futuristic silhouette and into the strategic problem it was designed to solve: how to strike deep inside heavily defended territory when the enemy is watching the sky. The B-2 is a strategic bomber, meaning it was designed for long-range missions against high-value targets. Unlike tactical aircraft that support forces near a battlefield, a strategic bomber can reach across continents and affect an enemy's ability to fight at the national level. The B-2 is also nuclear capable, which places it inside the United States' broader nuclear deterrent force. But it is not limited to nuclear missions. It can also carry conventional precision-guided weapons, allowing it to strike heavily defended targets without using nuclear force. This combination matters because it gives military planners flexibility. One aircraft can be part of deterrence during peacetime, but also perform conventional strike missions during conflicts, especially when stealth and range are more important than speed. The aircraft's most defining feature is its flying wing design. Instead of having a tube-shaped body with wings attached, the B-2's body and wings blend into one continuous shape. This is not just an aesthetic choice. A flying wing can be aerodynamically efficient, helping with long-range flight, and it also supports stealth. Radar systems often detect aircraft by bouncing energy off sharp angles, vertical surfaces, engine inlets, and tail structures. By removing the tail and carefully shaping the aircraft, designers reduced the number of surfaces that could send radar energy back toward a transmitter. The B-2's lambda-like wing planform, dark coating, and buried engines all work together to make the bomber much harder to detect than a conventional aircraft of similar size. Development began in 1979 under the Advanced Technology Bomber Program, a highly secretive black project during the Carter administration. At the time, the United States was trying to preserve its ability to penetrate Soviet air defenses. Earlier thinking favored speed and altitude, which helped shape aircraft like the B-1A, a Mach 2 capable bomber concept. But the rise of stealth technology changed the equation. Instead of outrunning detection, the new bomber would try to avoid detection in the first place. The promise of stealth helped make the B-2 attractive enough that the B-1A program was cancelled in its original form. The goal was ambitious: create an aircraft that could fly deep into hostile airspace where older bombers might be tracked, targeted, and intercepted. Northrop was the prime contractor for the B-2, later becoming part of Northrop Grumman. Boeing, Hughes Aircraft Company, and Vought were major subcontractors, showing how technically demanding the project was. Producing a stealth bomber is not simply a matter of building a new airframe. Every opening, seam, material, antenna, and engine installation can affect the aircraft's radar signature. Even maintenance requirements become unusual because the stealth characteristics must be preserved after every flight. The B-2 was produced from 1988 to 2000, but the number built remained very small. The aircraft was a product of cutting-edge engineering, complex manufacturing, and classified design knowledge. It represented not just an airplane, but an entire stealth ecosystem built around materials, shapes, sensors, and mission planning. The B-2's cost became one of the most controversial parts of its story. By 1996, the program had produced 21 aircraft at a total cost of $44.7 billion, including development, procurement, testing, and production. Adjusted into 2025 dollars, that equals roughly $91.82 billion overall, with an average cost of about $4.37 billion per aircraft when the entire program is included. Those numbers made the bomber a frequent target in Congress. The debate became even sharper after the Cold War ended. The B-2 had been justified partly by the need to strike deep inside the Soviet Union, but when the Soviet Union collapsed, lawmakers questioned whether America still needed 132 stealth bombers. The planned fleet was cut to only 21. The B-2's weapons capacity is central to its value. It can carry conventional bombs, including up to 8,500-pound class Mk-82 JDAM GPS-guided bombs, allowing it to attack many separate aim points in one mission. It can also carry nuclear weapons, including B-61 nuclear bombs, giving it a strategic deterrence role. The aircraft is especially important because it is the only acknowledged in-service aircraft capable of carrying large air-to-surface standoff weapons while maintaining a stealth configuration. That combination is powerful. A bomber that can approach defended areas without being easily detected, then release precision weapons from a survivable distance, gives commanders options against targets that would be extremely risky for non-stealth aircraft to attack. Despite its advanced design, the B-2 is subsonic. It does not rely on high speed to survive. Instead, it combines stealth, altitude, range, and careful mission planning. The aircraft has an estimated ceiling of about 50,000 feet and an unrefueled range of more than 6,900 miles. With a single mid-air refueling, it can fly more than 12,000 miles. These numbers are essential to understanding the B-2's role. It can take off from the United States, fly across oceans, strike targets far away, and return, often with aerial refueling extending the mission. That kind of reach means the bomber does not always need to be stationed near a conflict zone, reducing political complications and making it harder for adversaries to predict where a strike might originate. The B-2 entered service in 1997 and was considered the second stealth aircraft to enter operational service after the Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk. While the F-117 was a stealth attack aircraft designed around a narrower strike role, the B-2 brought stealth to the strategic bomber mission. Its first combat use came in the Kosovo War in 1999, where it dropped conventional ordnance rather than nuclear weapons. This was important because it demonstrated that the aircraft was not just a Cold War nuclear platform. It could be used in real conflicts to deliver precision weapons against defended targets. Later, B-2s were used in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, the 2025 strikes on Iran, and the 2026 Iran War, reinforcing their role as high-end strike assets. The B-2 fleet is based at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, but its operational footprint reaches much farther. The aircraft requires climate-controlled hangars to help preserve its sensitive stealth materials and coatings. That logistical need is one reason operating the B-2 is so expensive and specialized. Still, the Air Force has developed ways to forward deploy the bomber to key locations. B-2s have operated from NSF Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, Andersen Air Force Base on Guam in the Pacific, and RAF Fairford in the United Kingdom. These locations matter because they place the bomber closer to potential theaters of operation while still supporting the maintenance environment needed to keep the aircraft's stealth features mission-ready. As of 2024, the United States Air Force has 19 B-2s in service. The number is lower than the original production total because one aircraft was destroyed in a 2008 crash, and another was likely retired after being damaged in a 2022 crash. With such a small fleet, every aircraft matters. Unlike mass-produced fighters, the B-2 force is a tiny strategic asset pool. Losing even one represents a significant reduction in available capability. This scarcity also affects how the aircraft is used. B-2 missions are planned carefully, maintenance is highly controlled, and the aircraft is reserved for situations where its combination of range, stealth, and payload offers a clear advantage over other platforms. The B-2 Spirit is expected to remain in service until 2032, when it is planned to be incrementally replaced by the Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider. The B-21 is intended to carry forward the stealth bomber concept with newer technology, lower operating demands, and a design suited for modern threats. But the B-2's legacy is already secure. It proved that a large strategic bomber could be built around stealth rather than speed, and that such an aircraft could operate as both a nuclear deterrent and a conventional precision strike weapon. It was controversial, expensive, and produced in tiny numbers, yet it became one of the most symbolic aircraft of American airpower, a flying wing built to appear where an enemy least wants it, and often least expects it. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.